Hello, this is episode 26 of the Hacker Finder GitHub scraping series. I am back at home, so hopefully the audio quality will be a little bit better. No more. Oh, that was like perfect irony. I just banged my wedding ring against the desk. That said, no hissing fires or trains or hopefully cats or whatever else was going on. It has been probably 5 days or so since I recorded the last episode, and I don't remember exactly what I was doing. So a lot of times when that's the case, I'll dive into something like this. I'll take a whack or two at tech debt, which kind of gets me back into the swing of things. So let me first look at this and see if I don't know if that's actually still an issue or not, all that string. Yeah, I think I mostly got away from that. So string array index URL with this key to string, JArray. I wonder if the thing in a JArray is a token. Like if I could do... I think the main thing I didn't like was the casting. And the secondary thing I didn't like was the... I don't know. The unnecessary brackets. Okay, so I think... Let me see if I've got no more casting, so that's good. And what's going on in here? So this code looks more appealing to me. There's a lot of action in these private methods. Find all profiles for a location. Make profiles from JSON. When I start to get a lot of meat into private methods, I start to wonder if maybe they shouldn't go out into being a class. So like, get profiles for location calls into this method. Oh man, there's like an air raid siren going on or something. I can't escape the noise. Calls into this method, which then calls into this method. That's starting to smell like something that could eventually be another class. Since that first call is just a single method and a try-catch, inlining that wouldn't be crazy, so it's like one private method kind of, but we could do an extract here conceptually. So this is getting to be busy. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything about it for now, but it's just something to think. I guess what could, should, profile searcher. I don't know yet. I'm speculating. Now what's this? Eating an exception, get repos for user. I gotta figure out how to override the Camtasia keyboard shortcuts. Man, I hope you can't hear it. That siren is really annoying. Where am I eating an exception? Build repos list from user. If this is a JArray. Oh, I think I fixed that last time. Okay. This is something I don't want to take on as just a warm-up, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't at some point refactor that. Maybe an episode here shortly. Unit test should really be pro. So there's a lot of maybe I'll turn these things I don't like into a first class card, which is get more. I don't want to say formalize. I don't necessarily want to say clean up. I guess standardize. And let's see, checklist. Needs. Stop adding nearly identical setup between unit and acceptance tests. Unit tests parsing the profile string instead of duplicating and duplicating profiles between acceptance. You know what, instead of saying it that way, read profiles in from a file. Okay. Hopefully I remember that link, but sooner or later it'll all get cleaned up. The other thing I was thinking is that I'm going to want to maybe bump this guy up near the top. And the reason I say that is because without this, I'm going to I was thinking of, say, doing a console app. And with what I'm doing in terms of that search, like now, the main thing I want to do is actually get the... that's interesting. I don't actually have that in here. Retrieve a zip of source code. Let's see. Let me do this. Add the source code URL to the... I'm trying to think how I want this back. So right now I'm doing... I can search repos for a user, and to the repo domain object. So this may actually bump up right here. Now, the other thing is what I'm eventually getting back is a profile. So I'm wondering if maybe I don't want the profile to contain, at this point, like a collection of repo URLs. So I'm gonna put that aside for now. This is maybe a good thing to chase today, or at least in this episode. Implementing results caching, I think, is going to be important. And pardon me, I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but I think with what I'm doing, I'm going to start to bang up against these rate limits pretty quickly. And so either I'm going to need to do some caching, or I'm going to need to figure out the whole authentication to buy myself a little more time. But I feel like if I could do the caching, that I could defer that decision, maybe even indefinitely, because if I'm thinking about how to use this, if I want to go out and do some like recruiting, I'm not going to process 40 people in a day. So if I'm caching the results I hit, I might just be content to have the use case be like, go out and get me 10 new people to work with today. And that's it. And maybe I'll never care about rate limit because, I've got this growing collection of people I can go back and refer to. Do I really ever need, unless this were to scale up massively, do I need to deal with more than 10 people in a day as a single person? I can't probably email or contact or talk to that many different people. So anyway, let me do this. Let's take a look at repository has a name, URL, and language. So what we probably want to do is add a download link. Let's see now if I go back and look at the actual, was it in here? Actual GitHub JSON. So here's a single Eric repository. So if I click on this, yes. That is not what I wanted to happen. Probably just used up one of my API calls. I should check better. So the HTML URL, which I might have, I think the download URL, let's do this instead. Yes, control click. Make it so. Oh, this isn't even mine. This is... That's going to be interesting, too. Eventually, I'm going to need to... I think maybe I just forked this at some point. I'll probably need to do a little bit of tidying up around, like, okay, how significant are the contributions to this thing? So I'm not catching people who have just happened to fork some kind of awesome repo. Let's see. In fact, I should probably make a note of that. Find a way. I could write this as a user story format. Like, as a recruiter, I want to filter out people who have not really contributed so that I don't get false positives. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm the only one working on this. To avoid false positives, like someone just forking an awesome repo. Okay. So that's recorded. Moving on. I think download zip just adds archive /master. So let's go in here and do a repo search. And we'll say download. And that'll be this master. What was it? I swear no matter how often I look at this, I don't actually remember. Archive master. Hey, what's the problem here? Oh, right. All right, go red. Why are you not going red? Run. It's not just the count. Get repo. And first repo should have the... How on earth does that pass? Oh, because I'm not making a assert about it. I just figured it wouldn't... Yeah, okay. I don't always do the smartest things. It's not a given. Ugh, come on. Yes, I know. Reload. Try again. Productivity add-in seems to be the fritz. Oh, for goodness sake. Is CodeRush just not working? No, it's working. It's just not. I don't want to, like, do too much yak shaving here, but, like, I really kind of want to turn off this light bulb in favor of CodeRush, because it seems like CodeRush backs off whenever this light bulb has a plan. Okay, now we need to go make this pass, and actually that's going to be fairly easy. The trouble is, let's see. I wonder if there's like a... what am I thinking of? Like, there's path.combine, c#url.combine, something like that. Hey, that's exactly what I was wondering. We're friends. URI is a constructor. Interesting. So I think we can probably... this may not be the most performant thing on earth, but that is not yet a problem I have, and frankly, querying GitHub is also not the most performant thing on earth. New URI with URL and archive master.zip. Give me some love. No? That's the problem. String to bool. Uh-oh. Oh. This is sort of awkward. Let's go back. Actual. Github.com. Oh, for goodness sake. This may be... route base URL. Oh, I see. Ugh. These other solutions are sort of horrifying. Combine. I mean, I guess I could make like an extension method, but you know what I'm actually going to do is not overthink this for now. We're going to return URL plus. Now, the thing that I'm worried about there is I don't know if sometimes like it'll come back with the trailing slash on the end of URL, and I might get two of them in here. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now, let's go make sure that this actually turns out to be true in the repo search. This makes me wonder if I shouldn't, I don't know, like, I have end-to-end and acceptance, and I just wonder if there isn't... Is there a way to reuse the same features and code for end-to-end and acceptance, but just swap out mocked for real DB? Because this is a smell what I'm doing here, which is like, oh, I'll just, go duplicate this in the... I mean, maybe it's as simple as like the low-tech version, which is that for most of the time I just have one project, and most of the time I run it with NCrunch, and then I turn NCrunch off and swap in the actual like implementation. I don't know. Something to think on, I guess. But for now... let me do this. Oh, really? No. Where am I? So let's hit GitHub and see if that turns out actually to be true. Ugh. Yeah. think that's, yeah, download first repo, download URL. Yes. Huh? Oh. Go back and try it again. Okay. So this time I'm right at 20 minutes, and I think I'm just going to call it an episode. I've been bad at, being under the Pomodoro time, so I'll give you a few minutes back this time. Let me just commit and cleaned up a bit of tech debt. What else? Added download URL to repo. All right, let's... Do we have any untracked? No, those all should be untracked. So let's push this up to master. Hey. Yes. Oh. All right. I think that worked. And finally, okay, I will see you next time.